Welcome to the Flavor and Encapsulation Research Lab here in the Food Science and Nutrition Department at the University of Minnesota. Let's get introduced to those working in this lab currently. Gary Rhinexus has been running this lab for nearly 40 years, and he has 3 graduate students currently, PhD candidate Yara Benavides, and master students Katie Enzenhauer and Devin McDonald.
My name is Gary Rhinexus. I'm in the Department of Food Science and Nutrition. I'm a food chemist, particularly focused on the flavor of foods. What we do in our laboratory is we look at what chemicals, what processes actually give flavor. Say the Vickers is concerned about people. I'm worried about the chemistry. Our focus of the research most recently has been looking at new protein sources, such as pea protein, pennycress, camelina, and so on. Looking at the off flavors they bring, customers not going to be very tolerant of that. And then also, when we flavor these products, what happens to that flavor? Is it stable? Does it change during storage? It's a fascinating area these days, and enjoying it a great deal.
Hi, my name is Yara Benavides. I'm a PhD candidate here in Gary's lab. My dissertation project is focused on identifying off-aroma compounds in pea protein and determining their sources, whether they are inherent to the plant or if they are formed during the isolation process of pea protein.
Okay, hi, I'm Katie. I'm a second-year master's student in Gary's lab, and I am analyzing the complete volatile profile of several EMC enzyme-modified cheese pastes and their applications in cheese powder and processed cheese.
Hi, I'm Maisie, Katie's lab assistant. I'm a junior food science major here in the chemical flavor analysis research lab.
Hello, I'm Devin. I just started my master's project, and it's in determining the flavor and taste of potential new plant proteins and helping breeders make them more suitable for consumers.
Most of our work involves identifying the flavor or aroma compounds found in almost all of our food. In order to do this, we have to look at its properties and figure out how to isolate them from the rest of the food source. Here we see Yara using a solvent-assisted flavor extraction apparatus. She's distilling the volatile compounds out of food and then trapping them using liquid nitrogen into an extract. Another method we are currently using is this system. Devin is loading his plant protein sample into this apparatus and then purging it with nitrogen gas. Then the volatile stuck in the gas will get trapped into a polymer in the small glass tube. Once we have obtained the extract of our foods, we need to figure out how to identify each specific compound. In order to do this, we use gas chromatography to separate all of the compounds out in the mixture. A food sample can be injected into the GC unit, and then it is heated up, and all the volatile compounds will slowly work through the GC column, which is multiple meters long within this box, until they're all separate and come out of the column at a different time. In order to figure out the specific characteristics of these compounds, we need humans to figure that out. Here we see Yara hooked up to an olfactometry unit, and she is able to smell the compounds that come out of the food sample one at a time. As the aroma compounds come out, Yara writes down what notes she is reminded of. This first one appears to remind her of nuts. This next aroma compound appears to remind her more of flowers or a floral scent. In foods, there can be tens to hundreds of compounds that all contribute to its flavor. Some foods have very desirable flavors and aroma compounds that we want to apply to other food systems. In order to do this, we take the flavors and oils seen in this vault and encapsulate them in a starch and gum mixture. This makes the flavor last longer and helps it be applied to many different types of food. Here we see orange oil, one of the most common flavors we'll use to test different types of encapsulation methods. A flavor encapsule emulsion will be pumped through this spray dryer seen here. The emulsion will then be dried in this nozzle, which is heated and spinning very fast, so it atomizes into small particles. The flavor is then encapsulated in the starch and gum and will last a lot longer than the flavor can exist on its own. I hope you enjoyed hearing from our lab members and their current projects they are working on here in the Flavor Encapsulation Lab in the Food Science and Nutrition Department.